In the year 1966, an Australian ship captain passed by a small boat next to a small deserted island named Utter, but as he was observing the island through his binoculars, he noticed smoke rising from the forest trees and wondered how smoke could come from a deserted island while he was contemplating the scene. Suddenly, a person appeared from among the trees. The person was only wearing shorts and his hair was long. Seeing you, it appears that he is from a local tribe. The stranger, as soon as he saw the boat, wanted to point and scream, and immediately after that he threw himself into the sea, and he started swimming towards the boat. The captain began to feel fear, so the captain held on. He took his harpoon that was with his boat and began to prepare to confront this stranger. The person reached the boat and it turned out to be the captain. In fact, he was a teenage boy. The boy told him, "My name is Steven and there are 5 other boys on the island. We have been lost and stuck here from 15 months ago." Today's video talks about a strange survival story of 6 children who wanted to flee. The boys, their goal was to escape from school but ended up feeling stuck. And they're stuck on a deserted island. So how did this happen? And how did they survive in this isolated place all this time? Our story begins in 1965 in a country called the Kingdom of the South. This country is a group of small islands in the Pacific Ocean located in this area east of the universe. Our story's heroes are these 6 boys whose pictures are in front of me. Seoni, Mano, Steven, Kolo, David. They were students in a Catholic school, which means a religious school. This school was a boarding school, which means students not only study there. No, they live in it, their food and drink. No, in this school, there were very strict and confining rules on the students and their freedom. They were not allowed to go out, except for 1 day a week. They were under the supervision of teachers, and these teachers were of course monks and nuns. They treated the students with all seriousness, and even sometimes they might punish them. Severe penalties if they did something wrong or did not listen to the word. So our 6 heroes who were of age then reseat. So our 6 heroes, those who were aged between 14 and 16 at that time, felt frustrated with their situation. They were always talking and discussing with each other. Talk about the life of freedom. Subscribe to the channel. They do everything in it. One day, while they were gathered at the lunch break, the oldest among them, Seoni, told his friends. One of them was asked, "Where should we escape?" He answered, "To Zion. Let's go to Fiji." Fiji was also an island located in the same region of the Pacific Ocean and is considered a bigger and more developed island than the kingdom. But it was far away from her, so the boys need a plan. The long journey takes a while. First thing, they'll need a boat, but since none of them has a boat, so they decided to steal a boat from an irritable elderly fisherman. There were some problems between them and her before, so he was a suitable target for them. They wouldn't feel guilty if they took the boat. The boys decided that their journey would begin at night, so they have time to get away from the island before anyone discovered they had escaped. And after about an hour past bedtime at the school, and once they were sure they had escaped, most of the sleeping students and teachers quietly slipped out of their rooms and climbed the school wall. And then they headed to the beach where they found the old man's boat they despised and put their tents in it. They raised the anchor and lowered the shopping. They were carrying their basic things, brought some food and fruits. They even carried a portable gas oven to cook the fish they catch here in the sea, but none of them thought to bring a compass or a map for the distance from Tonga to Fiji Island. More than 750 kilometers, meaning the smart ones, none of them thought to bring the simplest tool that could help them maintain their path. In all cases, even if they brought a map or compass, such a journey was almost impossible for young boys who have never sailed the sea. Where might they be? Nearly 2 hours had passed since the start of their journey, and at this point they had moved some distance from the coast. As dawn approached, the boys began to do better, especially since they haven't slept yet. And they weren't accustomed to staying up late because their school forbids this, so it was a new experience. They stay awake for it, then they start to get up. They doze off one after the other until they all slept and not one of them stayed awake, and the boat's sail is open. And the wind is messing around with them, telling tales. The kids are moving in random directions, none of them paying attention, until the sound of thunder surprised them with a storm in the middle of the city. Suddenly it attacked them, waking them up from their sleep. terrified, and straight away the first thing they tried to do